Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has a new government after a snap election that saw the incumbent losing badly. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 9th August 2022. Details when we return.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. St. Kitts and Nevis has a new Prime Minister as he took his oath in the early aftermath of the snap elections, which were held there on Friday last.
Dr. Terence Michael Drew is St. Kitts and Nevis's new Prime Minister. The leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party was sworn in as the Federation's fourth Prime Minister on Saturday evening at a brief swearing-in ceremony at Government House, in the presence of his party colleagues who were also elected to the National Assembly, members of his family, and other well-wishers. Dr. Drew took the oath of allegiance, the oath of the office, and the oath of secrecy as administered by Justice Trevor Ward in the presence of Governor-General Sir Tapley Seaton.
I, Dr. Terence Michael Drew.
I, Dr. Terence Michael Drew.
Do swear
that
I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis,
Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis,
and the law. That I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge my duties as Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, and do right to all manner of people, without fear or evil, affection or ill. So help me God.
In his remarks, Dr. Drew said he looks forward in serving the people of St. Kitts and Nevis over the next 5 years.
To extend a hand much closer to our federation system, to assist our Nevis, so that whatever issues there that we can solve and resolve, with our federation ever closer together. I look forward over the next 5 years to serving the people of St. Kitts and Nevis with distinction, with respect, and the principles of good governance, transparency, and integrity, so that our nation can be counted among those that are of Christ.
It is expected that the entire cabinet will be sworn in the coming days. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party won 6 seats in the 11-seat National Assembly after Friday's snap general election. The new Prime Minister also declared Monday, August 8th, a national holiday in celebration of the Labour Party's victory. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Antigua and Barbuda say they are ready for monkeypox. Cherilyn Biza of ABS News reports.
Health Minister Honorable Malwin Joseph says a facility has been earmarked for isolation of any cases of the virus.
If ever you can see the wisdom of the government and the effective planning of the government, is having the IDC now, we have a threat of monkeypox, because it's the perfect isolation area for monkeypox.
He says the country is ready.
The facility is there. I'm personally going to see what condition it's in. But basically, it should not be any problem except probably for cleaning.
The health minister is pleased there's an isolation facility for anyone who contracts the virus, so they do not infect those at home.
So this is why we built it. And it will be it is monkeypox today, it will be something tomorrow. So the IDC is a good decision of the government, a standalone facility to deal with infectious diseases and viruses.
He's also pleased that testing for monkeypox has begun in country.
Yes, we have developed the capacity. I think we started last week. So we do not have to send samples to CARFA anymore.
He says the capacity of the country's laboratories will continue to be expanded to be in a position to investigate any viral or other infection. Sherilyn Beezer reporting for ABS News.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip Pear is defending government's decision to appoint a firearms licensing board after the move came under heavy criticism from former National Security Minister Herman Gill Francis.
Former National Security Minister Herman Gill Francis argued that the transferring of the authority from the Police Commissioner to the new Firearm Licensing Board to deal with illegal possession of firearms is tantamount to a lack of trust in the Commissioner to handle such matters. He also expressed reservations with the composition of the board to include permanent secretaries and civilians, which he says would make the new entity easy to manipulate.
We don't have to be naive in St. Lucia. That there are some PSs that are really supporting the St. Lucia Labour Party. We also have PSs that support the United Workers' Party. That is a fact of life. We can't get away from that. That is there. So that is two persons that you already have. And then you're going to put three civilians in there. Can be manipulated by any politician. And we see the caliber of politicians that we have in the House of Assembly these days. Again, why St. Lucians are trying to bury their head in the sand and not recognizing the danger?
But Prime Minister Philip Pear countered the argument, asserting that the Firearm Licensing Board serves to instill a sense of fairness and public confidence in its integrity, although the process remains the same.
The police do all the investigations. The process doesn't change, though. But the final decision will be made by a committee where the Commissioner of Police chairs, which is important. And I understand there may be some security concerns.
The Prime Minister maintains that the Police Commissioner will always remain the custodian of security information in St. Lucia. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Tobago's upcoming October Carnival is expected to have its own character, not a replica of Trinidad's Carnival. That's what the chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Winston Gypsy Peters, says he understood from talks with the Tobago Committee representing Tobago's interest and the NCC. Here is more from TV6's Elizabeth Williams.
They don't want it to look like Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival. So I don't quite understand what they want it to look like. And lately I've seen where they have gone to Grenada to have talks and to look at whatever and to have exchanges. So I guess they want it to look like Grenada's Carnival.
Chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Winston Gypsy Peters, said 2 meetings were held on Tobago's Carnival when it was initially announced that Carnival would be held in October. The NCC came to Tobago and met with the Tobago Carnival Committee, and a Zoom meeting was also held. Mr. Peters said the Tobago Committee went further.
However, nobody from the NCC is on any committee that has anything to do with Tobago's Carnival. As a matter of fact, I was told in no uncertain terms that they don't want Tobago Carnival to look like Trinidad's Carnival.
Peters believes the affairs of Tobago's Carnival are being shaped to suit what Tobago wants.
But the irony of that is that Grenada's Carnival look like Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival. So I don't know what aspect of Grenada Carnival that is so significant or so unique that they would prefer to have it to a Grenada style carnival than a Trinidad style carnival.
Elizabeth Williams, TV6 News.
The United National Congress is issuing a call to the government not to rely solely on the World Health or Pan American Health organizations for the monkeypox vaccine. It claims this would be repeating a past mistake.
Member of Parliament for Caroni East, Dr. Richard C. Tran, says the COVAX facility, which was in part directed by the Gavi Vaccine Alliance and the World Health Organization, failed as a means of equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines. With monkeypox now declared a global health emergency by the WHO, he is making this call to the government in relation to securing vaccines.
We should not entirely rely upon PAHU and the WHO for vaccine supply to combat monkeypox. the World Health Organization has created a new vaccine sharing mechanism to stop the outbreak of monkeypox. And this program is based on countries' epidemiological needs, very similar to COVAX mandate.
The country is expected to receive 2,000 doses of the monkeypox vaccine from PAHO, which would be reserved for people who have come in close contact with infected persons, as well as healthcare workers who wish to be vaccinated.
The reason we are one of the first countries to make an indicative order through PAHO is that many countries have lost confidence in these agencies to deliver vaccines and have gone straight to the manufacturer instead.
He believes TNT would be at a disadvantage if the government doesn't follow suit. Dr. Cicharan says while the vaccine is administered in 2 doses 28 days apart, there is a different approach being taken in the United States.
In some countries, due to the shortage of these vaccines, such as Washington and in New York City, they are holding back the second dose until more doses become available in an attempt to give more persons the vaccine. And this is a protective measure, and it has been shown that a single shot of this vaccine can be protective for more than 2 years.
He is suggesting that the same method can be used locally. Dr. Cicharan says TNT is not out of the woods in relation to COVID-19, and he notes the ability of Omicron to evade the immunity created by vaccines which were developed for earlier strains of the virus. In this regard, Dr. Cicharan says the country still does not have the antiviral drug Paxlovid, which is produced by Pfizer and can reduce hospitalization by as much as 88%.
The Minister of Health must make the appropriate allocations in the upcoming budget to procure booster shots for COVID-19 as well as antivirals.
Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
In one more item out of Trinidad, over the last 5 months, more than 10,000 customers have lost service due to copper thieves cutting Digicel's line. So says Chief Executive Officer in Trinidad and Tobago, Abraham Smith.
The problem, however, is that Digicel's lines do not have copper in them, so the thieves would have damaged infrastructure, then had no use for the material they escaped with. According to Smith, Digicel Plus network is a full 100% fiber to the home, business broadband service which has no copper in their lines. Additionally, he explained that when the lines are deliberately cut by thieves looking for copper, they disrupt service while inconveniencing customers and creating costly repairs. The CEO stated that it resulted in a huge cost to purchase the lines while creating a huge economic impact to customers and the company. Smith said apart from the copper theft, thieves are now going even further and stealing the batteries at cell towers, while noting that the situation has become a national security issue and should not be taken for granted and is being investigated.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.